Welcome, everyone. This is the monthly version of Through a Glass Darkly Live, not the radio version, but good to see you, protagonist. Good to see Gray Owl. All right. So, as I was saying, I get a little slightly bit fancier, but welcome, everyone. Just going to start out with channel news. I'm continuing to proceed apace. I have about 12 videos in future inventory. So if this podcast ever ends, you'll at least have 12 videos unless YouTube cancels me before then, which based on any Forbies in the house, I don't know, maybe. What was I saying? I don't know what I was saying, but stacked. Yeah, I know. I'm stacked, but we'll go through that. I have a bunch of things, but other than that, I'm just kind of just cranking. Just I have 3 more interviews scheduled, and we'll just take it from here. But still don't have a guest for this weekend, but I haven't really looked for one. So I just haven't had time. Yeah. I think they think the U.S. has the holy grail and the secrets to everything, which we don't. Because if we did, we wouldn't be so. Our government wouldn't be so incompetent. So that's where that argument fails for me. Yeah, I know, but I'm not getting any exercise. I'm not getting any rest. It's not great. So, um, yeah, I just got to keep pushing. Once I get that schedule, it's just keep crunching, keep grinding. That's all I do. So, I just wish, you know, I just wish I showed results. Right now, it's like not ideal. By the way, as I was getting onto this program, I was outside out back, and the owls are humming. At least two were great horned owls were hooting away, um, and there's some bats out. I had a bird. I don't know what kind of bird because it was so fast. Flew an inch over my head. It scared the crap out of me. Um, I mean, like dive bombed, like right across. I have no idea what that was about. So, yep, yep, basically. Yeah, you might be the only one. It's okay. We talk about all sorts of things. I'm open minded about just about everything except communism. But other than that, and I don't talk about that. But um, yeah, let's just go through. We're just kind of speaking of that inventory of upcoming episodes. I'm going to go through that really quickly, and then I want to go over Immaculate Constellation. I have some thoughts. They're not really thoughts. They're just comments. So with that, let's see how can I do this so that it's not a disaster. All right. So future episodes. So today you would have seen Dr. Dean Radin. If you haven't, you need to watch it. It's a great episode about magic. Magic in Dr. Dean Radin's world is basically psychic ability or sight, anything related to what people would traditionally call psychic activity. So, all right. So that one's coming Monday. Then I had talked to Steve Mera about some shamanism and the nature of things like that. So it's no coincidence you see an owl and a raven, but you'll have to watch that to figure out what we talked about. And then we're talking about a little bit about Project Doorway again with Steve Mera. I still haven't talked to his partner yet. By the way, if you have not watched Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix, definitely check it out. One of the episodes, Steve Mera and his partner Barry Fitzgerald are featured. So definitely, my boy Steve Mera is on Unsolved Mysteries. So do not miss that at all. Okay. They kind of leave each other alone, the owl and the raven, because the owl is a night hunter. Raven's around during the day. Now I have seen, like over my house, I have seen ravens fighting hawks. That happens pretty commonly. They'll fight in the air and all sorts of crazy stuff. But okay, and then I have Elsa Dillon coming back. Uh, you know, so definitely it's been a while since I talked to her, so I have two episodes with her. The last one was on the equinox, so definitely check that out. And then James Iandoli, there's a whole crazy story about that. I reached out to him, and I've been thinking about reaching out to him for a few days. Never met him in person. He may have retweeted one of my things or a few of my things. I retweeted a few of his things. Literally, that was the extent of our interaction. I reached out to him on a DM on Twitter, and he responded immediately just to ask him to interview. He said, "This is really strange. I had a dream last night that I was on your show." So Could that be a coincidence? Sure, that could be but that's not. I mean that is a little bit too on the nose. Okay, but he'll talk about it on the show. Don't take my word for it. He kind of talks about that interaction. So kind of strange. No, I did not see the Carp Ontario Garden UFO incident or Guardian UFO incident on the old original Unsolved Mysteries. I've not seen that. Yep. Yeah, he's a good dude. I really like him. Good dude. We also talk a little bit about human initiated contact, which is kind of, I mean, it's CE5 basically, but it's a an unbranded way of talking about it. Yeah, he's definitely dialed in. And then Dr. David Morehouse makes another appearance. We talk about his theories about what's going on all these paranormal ranches, like Beyond Skinwalker style. So Skinwalker, Rocky Mountain Ranch, Taos Ranch, all that good stuff. So that's another good one that's coming up. This one, it may come sooner or later, depending on whenever James Fox, launches his that documentary also called The Program. So as soon as that drops, about like an hour, half a day later, I'm just going to reschedule this. I mean, depending, it has to, as long as it falls on like a Monday or a Wednesday, I might drop it a little bit sooner, depending on when, on an off day, like not necessarily on a Monday or Wednesday. It's just dependent on whenever James Fox's documentary appears, because I definitely want to draft on that, because I've been holding this one solely because Jason Sands is not allowed to appear on video until after that thing drops. So, yep, 100% post Fox drop, but I want to try to time it close. And then same thing. This will drop. If the first one drops on a Monday, this will drop on a Wednesday. If the first one drops on a Wednesday, this will drop on a Monday. So, yeah, could be. So that's not it though. So Nathaniel Gillis tells me he's contemplating not staying in the field because I don't want to get into it, but this could be his last episode. I don't think it will be. I told him to focus. He's focused on kind of the dark side. There might be a positive side to the phenomenon. He hasn't really researched that at all. So we'll see. I think this could be his last, or I think he's supposed to appear on the Jeff Mara show sometime in December. So it might be one of his two kind of last episodes. So definitely check this one out. And then the last one is Dr. Joseph Burks. Was part of the original kind of CE5 movement with Stephen Greer. Obviously, he's not working with Stephen Greer anymore, as is often the case with many people who work with Stephen Greer. They kind of branch off and do their own thing. So, but that is a great episode. So Gray Owl, is Nathaniel getting worked over by some spooky X-ray types? Maybe. There are contactees who've come to him and told him that his what you would call X-rays have told him under no circumstances listen to what that guy has to say. So, and he was also kind of back in like 2017 or 2018, he was physically attacked by somebody. So yeah, there's just a lot of weirdness going on, and he might have something in the works somewhere else, but that's another story. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, the interviews that I have, there's a gentleman. His name, he was he's a I don't know if it was a professor, but he's like a doctoral degree from UCLA. He did a lot of work on psychokinesis and all sorts of poltergeist activities. His name's Dr. Barry Taff. I will be interviewing him on Saturday. And then this is something no one in this field does. So, as an example, no one in this field, except for Grant Cameron, God bless his soul, bothered to interview the guy, the independent political candidate who was running against Mike Turner. Only Grant Cameron and I did, right? Because it's relevant, right? It's directly relevant. Well, I then also interviewed people like Mick West, right, that are cast as a villain. Well, I have a really old school guest. Like, this is the guy, he's been mentioned obliquely on the Y Files. He is in at least 2 John Keel books. He's mentioned by name. And when he was in college, if you're all familiar with Indrid Cold, that character, right? Oh, that's a good call. Try to get. Let me see. Yeah. So where was I going with this? So this individual, there's a guy. His name is, I think, is like Woody Darrenberger or something like that, and that's the person who talked about Lanulus and Indrid Cold and things like that. Wow, I appreciate that. I don't know about Das Boot or Daboot or whatever that is. I don't know what that is, but Redacted's a big channel and they're well done channel. So I very much appreciate. I feel very humbled that you skipped Redacted for me. I don't know about the other channel. I can't comment on it. But here, let me stop sharing so you can actually see my face. Not that that was probably a bad call, but that's okay. You're gonna have to suffer through me. All right. So I talked about Dr. Barry Taff. The other individual is pulled a legendary hoax. Okay. Nobody interviews hoaxers, but except me. And the reason I do is I'm trying to understand every angle of this, right? And the purpose of this is to learn how to detect somebody who is doing something like this. And it was like a college prank. And John Keel, it escalated to the point that John Keel showed up in his college apartment to interview him personally. And he ended up in 2 of John Keel's books. And it was a pure hoax. It was like a college prank. And anyway, I'm not going to say anything more, but I kind of read his story because he's written about it in various columns. And I mean, when you say something to John Keel and it ends up like that exact line ends up in a major motion picture and is spoken to like an actor like Richard Gere, that's some crazy stuff. So anyway, I'm not going to say his name, but you know, it's going to be again. I haven't interviewed him yet, but I've just talked to him on the phone, and we're very simpatico. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be entertaining. So anyway, that's all I have on that stuff. Yeah, not by data. Not by data. The data does not agree with you, Gray Al. I wish it did, but it does not. I don't know why, but the data is interesting. There's nothing wrong with being Christian. I think we need more of that. If we had some more of that, and not just Christianity, but just positive faith. So yeah, that's right. That's the problem. No one takes time to look. It's all there. So if I'm lucky, like 2 years from now, people will start digging through my old content and be like, "How come I didn't know this channel existed?" I'm still getting that stuff. Yeah, Yeah, that's speaking of Google, that Gray Owl, you read my mind because I'm about to get into some Google stuff. Yeah, uh, yeah. At this point, I don't know what the truth, but I think Nathaniel's on to something. I don't know if he's on to the entire thing, but I think he's on to a portion of it for sure. All right, so let me make sure I share this correctly. Uh, um, I think I have this correct. All right. All right. I think I have this done properly. Okay. Now, just making sure I can see this properly. And let's just all right. It is not it's not doing this exactly the way I want it to do this. Yeah. Okay. So what does all this have to do with Google? Oh man, my apologies for not getting this 100% right, but all right. So what you see here is something called, speaking of Google Trends. Okay. Y'all may have seen this on Twitter because that's exactly where I found it. Um, Allegedly, because I haven't run this check myself. So I want to be very careful about what I talk about. If you do a search for the Immaculate constellation, there's a big spike between June 18th and 24th of 2023, right? Almost exactly a month before the Grush hearings. Okay. So that's data point one, which means that people who knew about this unacknowledged special access program were panicking or curious to search to see if there was any mention over the internet about it. Okay. So that's data point one. Now, data point two is this. This is what you would see today. Okay. If you went and searched for it. Okay. So the good, obedient little fascists at Google probably received a phone call. Get that off there. Remove it. Get it out of there. And so they gave a Hitler salute and complied and hid reality from the rest of us so that they could goose step into profitability, I guess. So this happened in real time. And you know what? We caught it. People in the community caught it. Now, I know for a fact, I independently verified this. You'll have a step up recently. But if you check Google Trends on Immaculate Constellation, you'll get nothing. Okay. So somebody scrubbed it. Isn't that wonderful? Just like Google Maps scrubbed the strange oblong structure off of Southern California. right? So, but we're not done yet. Okay. So, what am I doing here? All right. I'm just finding the next one. Okay. Again, I can't verify this because I wasn't able to independently get the same thing because it may have been scrubbed. Okay. Or it may be fake. All right. So I just want to put that out there and, be 100%. If I could only find this freaking thing. All right. All right. But if you look at this, right, you got this big conflict complex. It's like Edwards Air Force Base, Area 51, all that stuff. And you have kind of big part of Northern California, right? So Travis Air Force Base is somewhere up here. You got uh, Moffett Field, NASA Ames Research Center. All right. I'm not quite sure what you have up here in. You have Boeing. You have Boeing up here. You have a bunch of aerospace companies like Lockheed. You have some Lockheed offices in Sunnyvale up here. Then you have the middle of the country here, right? Which is, I believe this is, yeah, it's hard to tell when it's not broken up into states. But this is, I think, Colorado area, Rocky Mountain area, maybe Cheyenne Mountain, things like that. And look at that. It looks to be Dayton, Ohio, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Maybe some England Air Force Base action down here. This is probably the Huntsville, Alabama kind of complex. And you have, one of these is Austin, right? Then you also have some NASA assets down here. Massachusetts, you have Harvard University. You have what else? Hanscom Air Force Base, where I had my wedding reception, incidentally. So let's see explicitly what they did. So the biggest hits are Dayton, Ohio. That's pretty interesting. Austin, Texas, right? That's where like Puthoff folks are. Denver, Colorado, right? Boston, Massachusetts, Manchester, New Hampshire. Orlando, Daytona Beach, Melbourne, Florida. Okay. So I don't know why this is giving me a hard time here. All right. So, all right. So that's interesting, right? Very interesting stuff. What does that mean? All right. Let me see. Yep. I know. More has been spent on security and murdering people than anything else. Interesting. I'll have to check Grass Valley, California, wherever that is. Um, yeah, so then it gets a little even more interesting. Let me see if I can find um, something. So I've interviewed Paul Thigpen. Okay. So let me see if I can do this in a intelligent way. All right, maybe that's not going to work. All right, I'm going to have to share this. Just bear with me. I just have to do this in a way that it's. I just don't want to be sharing email addresses. That's all. So, because that's not my right. It's not my right to do. So I'm just trying to put this in a place where I can share it. But this is important stuff. So bear with me. Okay. All right. So this came from Dr. Paul Thigpen. He is a theologian, and he's written books about what he calls the extraterrestrial, hypothesis, ETH, etc., and reconciles it with religion. Okay. So here's his take on the Immaculate constellation. So he writes, why would the Immaculate constellation be chosen as a code name for a UAP USAP, so unacknowledged special access program? Some thoughts. One of the traditional titles of Jesus' mother, the Blessed Virgin Mary, is the quote unquote the Immaculate Conception. This code name seems to be playing off that title. In Revelation 12:1, again, remember the word 12, the number 12, in the Bible, a woman appears with a quote unquote a crown of 12 stars on her head. Again, 12, viewed in the Catholic tradition as a reference to Mary and often depicted in traditional sacred art as a circular constellation of 12 stars around her head. Consider also that the Legacy program, often cited in UFO lore, has been identified as Majestic 12 or Zodiac. Another possibility, quote, the Immaculate constellation, end quote, could perhaps, for similar reasons, refer to the classical constellation in the zodiac named Virgo, the Virgin. Yet we're still left wondering why they would want to associate this USAP with the Blessed Virgin Mary. Are any of the stars in the constellation Virgo referred to in UFO lore as the home of an ETI species? And then, Paul Thigpen, PhD. Okay. So I think I looked that up. I sure did. So again, bear with me. I am not fast on the footwork here, but I think it'll be worth it. All right, where are we? There we go. Okay. All right, you can see my question. What stars I meant to say are associated with UFO lore? Oh, yeah, what stars associated with UFO lore are located in the Virgo constellation? Okay. All right, let me just take a brief break before I go through this. Da-da-da. Oh, wow. There's a lot of stuff. Hey, Mark G. Interesting. I did not know about Grass Valley. Oh, Beale Air Force Base. Huh. It's not really, I didn't really work that hard. It was like, It's interesting that it's 88. Yeah, I don't think he meant. Yeah, you're right, Fred. I don't think. I think he kind of hastily typed it. I think he meant to say it's associated with Mary because it definitely is associated with Mary. Um, yeah, definitely hit like and subscribe, please, please. So I am not. Lord knows I'm not growing fast enough. Mark, you got to say more because many of these UFO alien podcasters, authors have been interviewed by your U.S. intelligence agencies. And I mean, as far as I know, I've never been interviewed. Maybe I don't know, maybe I'm not of interest. I don't know. Maybe I say too much. All right, I'm going to go into this now so that I just wanted to catch up on all the questions folks had. All right, and while we're doing that, I'm going to put some minor annoying thing at the bottom. Let's see. Okay. All right. So let's dive in. I'm just going to read it. I mean, most of you have already had plenty of time to read it, but I haven't scrolled upward yet. All right. So in UFO lore, the Virgo constellation is associated with a few stars, but one of the most significant is Zeta Reticuli. Okay. Now let me stop. It's not. Zeta Reticuli is not in the Virgo constellation. It just says it's associated, but I'm just going to read it through because I know some smart guy out there is like an astronomer and would be like, no, that's wrong. This is just Chat GPT. Okay. I don't know if it's hallucinating or not, but this is what it spit out. All right. So it's Zeta Reticuli, which is often linked to the famous alien abduction case of Betty and Barney Hill. Although Zeta Reticuli itself is part of the constellation Reticulum, it's mentioned here because of how UFO lore tends to blend star systems and constellations. So it's like a false hit. I don't know why. Here's a few stars in the Virgo constellation that have gained attention in UFO related contexts. So Spica, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but the brightest star in Virgo and one of the 20 brightest stars in the night sky. Although not frequently tied to specific UFO claims, its prominence and location make it a common reference point in UFO sightings, especially in ancient astronaut theories, which speculate on extraterrestrial civilizations linked to major stars. Parima, Gamma Virginis. Known as a binary star system, Parima has occasionally been referenced in UFO lore as a possible source of extraterrestrial civilizations. The dual star system might intrigue those who believe in planets hosting intelligent life in multiple star environments. Vita Vitamediatrix. Vindemiatrix. Okay. Epsilon Virgin Virginis. Virginus. Okay. Epsilon Virginus. Sorry, folks. I just wanted to get it right. Another star in Virgo, Vindemiatrix, has seen occasional mentions in discussions of extraterrestrial life, though its association is more speculative and tied to broader astrological and mythological interpretations of the constellation. While Virgo isn't as central to UFO lore as constellations like Orion or Reticulum, stars within it are occasionally included in theories about extraterrestrial civilizations due to its visibility and significance in both historical and astrological contexts. Okay? So, what do y'all think? No, well, Yep, free from sin. Yeah, but again, Virgo is not, it's not part of the Virgo constellation. I'll make that very clear. Immaculatus, from in not maculatus stained. Huh. From macula, spot. So unstained, basically. Yeah. Well, I mean, ChatGPT is doing fine. I didn't have to do anything with that. I just read like a monkey what it told me to say. It's just like just one hair that's like driving me crazy. Anyway, I just had to do it backwards. Okay. All right. So that's all I got. Immaculate constellation. That's it. I'm not sure if it's real. Oh, mine. Yeah. What was it? Vinda Meatrix, something like that. Yeah, something crazy. Okay. All right. So the next thing I want to just talk, we're just going to go straight to Q&A. Okay. Because I don't really have anything else. So what's on everybody's mind? And it's not open. I only do the open lines thing for the radio show. I'm not. This is just more of a catch up. These are like smaller, more intimate, right? Uh, I don't know why, but more people tune in on that on the Sunday night than they do kind of in the middle of the week, and I understand that. It's just once I start something, I just try try not to stop it. I try to hold on and keep pushing. So maybe, huh? Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure what to think about Cordell or Corbell. I think people just come to him and give him stuff, and I think the intelligence community kind of just uses them to put stuff out. That would be my theory, but I don't know. And then some of the stuff they give him is garbage. Some of the stuff they give him is really good, and I don't necessarily think you can tell the difference. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that's intentional. So the question is this real or is it just a psyop or not psyop, but a strategic deception campaign against Russia and China to make them feel, fear that we've been in possession of godlike weapons for 80 years and are deciphering their secrets. Right? There I'm not saying that's what I believe, but that's the only reason I think the US government or like intelligence operative, not operatives, but the intelligence community would make something like this up, right? So as a long-term strategic campaign. Yeah, it could be some sort of weird spiritual narrative too. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, now I'm curious to see. Oh wow. Da, da, da. I'm just trying to see if, yeah, the majority of my views right now are on X, which tracks, right? I feel like YouTube doesn't really show me any love. Don't know why, but they just don't. Oops. I'm just trying to get a sense of what it looks like. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Oh, let's see. Yeah, actually, I immediately thought of that when I saw the same thing. I didn't get finished listening to it, but yeah, Stan Gordon's the guy who is the expert on the Kecksburg crash in 1965, I think. Uh, and it's like yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff that go into that. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, well, like what? Weird World War III? That stuff? Yeah, I guess. I don't know if you would actually do anything with it. I mean, the weirdest part was that it was published in 2020 before Russia invaded. What would people like to see more of on this channel? Um, the other thing I'm noticing is like, well, let's see, a revert speech practicer. Say and say more. Say more. I want to see what you're. It sounds like you're about to lower the boom on something. It's all right. Hit the button by accident. More okay, that's fair. More remote viewers. Yeah, I think so too. I don't think we're in control. I think that's the only thing that seems, or not the only thing, but I think that's one of the higher probability things that I think are. I mean, the people who run us are just. I mean, not run us, but who are in control are so inept that it just. Huh. I've never heard of black orbs. That sounds creepy, actually. That sounds super creepy. It's like mini black hole or something, or the wormhole, or who knows. That is some insane stuff, man. What happened in 1991 Monterey? Oh, that's where you saw it. That's where they have the Dark Watchers, right? Well, it's. I mean, it's actually a little bit further south, I think, in Big Sur. That's where they have the Dark Watchers up on the Santa Maria Mountains. I think it's Santa Maria Mountains. And because of the waves crashing, there's a lot of infrasound, which can cause you to have or see hallucinations. Um, at least if you're close to the coast, there's a lot of like infrasonic frequencies. Um, I'm not saying that you hallucinated. I'm just saying that those sorts of things make people go crazy. Huh? Are there any experts on that? Hmm. Yeah. David Oates. Huh. I mean, I have no idea what the scientific viability of something like that is. Literally no idea. So I don't really. I'd be a little bit skeptical, but I don't judge whether or not it's real. I just let the audience kind of decide. So maybe. Yeah, but there's nothing. There's no James Webb anything yet. So I mean, they're not telling us. They're not telling us a damn thing. Which is why we have to figure this out for ourselves. Huh. Let's see. Yeah, I've seen that. I don't think you need a device to do that. I think you can do it. I think we can all do that ourselves. Huh. Yeah, I saw the Y-Files did a show on it. Yeah, I think it's the wow signal as well that's been detected, and they never really. Yeah, I think whatever is reported as ETs, I think they're here, whatever they are, whether they're non-human intelligences, whether they're manifestations of human consciousness. I mean, there could be a billion different things: future humans, ultra terrestrials, but whatever it is, I think they've been here for. Yeah, I don't think the phenomenon is out there either. I think it's here. I think it's been here for a long time, whatever it may be. Um, at least that's where all the evidence seems to point. Right? You have stuff coming out of the oceans, and you have historical stuff that goes all the way back. And so I think kind of the narrative that they suddenly arrived here in 1947 because of our nuclear weapons. I'm not. I don't believe that. Mm, it's not online yet. I'm surprised. Steve Mira and Barry Fitzgerald for sure. I need to reach out to Barry Fitzgerald. By the way, Nathaniel was talking to him the morning I interviewed him. So What else we got going on? Oh, like Steve and Barry. Oh man, I love. Yeah. Anyway. Hey, wow, Nicaragua. Greetings, Huckleberry Finnegan. Yeah, if I had his email address, if you can find his email address, I'll reach out to him. But oh, I uh I reached out to Ron Pandolfi and asked him to appear, and I got a response in 2 minutes. And it was definitely a no, but it was very on brand. I don't know. I think they need about 600 shipping containers. That's about all they would need. You just load them with soldiers, drop them off in a Taiwanese port, and then just like a Trojan horse, you. I mean, that would be one element of the invasion, but yeah, their deadline. Xi is given Taiwan, not Taiwan, has given the Chinese military until 2025 to be able to invade Taiwan, to have everything ready. It doesn't mean be that they would invade Taiwan, just that everything should be ready by then to invade Taiwan. So who is who is what? Hey, how you doing, Lord Kingsley? Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, and thank you for deciding to come here instead of Redacted. Redacted's a very good show, very well professionally done show. So if you said some other shows that had more subscribers, I might have looked at you funny, but that's a legit, like, that's good. That's a good show. Oh, 8:56. So you're only an hour ahead of me. So it sounds like you're on mountain time, like US mountain time, I think. Yeah. It's basically US mountain. Yeah. I don't know who the "oh really" was for, but maybe it's something I said 5 minutes. The problem is it feels like there's a delay on these comments. I don't know why, but it feels that way. So yeah, so it's mountain time. Okay. Yeah, I would have thought Nicaragua was a little bit closer to the U.S. East Coast. Huh. Yeah, he's on November. In November, I have an episode dropping with Nathaniel. Let me see. I think I missed this one. That's pretty cold, Gray Owl. Oh, you don't know that person. So Ron Pandolfi was this, I believe, was the successor to Kit Green on the CIA's Weird Desk. He ran the Weird Desk for many years, and I don't think I've ever seen him on a podcast. I don't know if he's gonna hang it up. I mean, I would like, my gut tells me it was 50-50. So he has some like big fancy something in the background that he may do if he gets it. I'm not gonna like. I think he said a little bit more to me, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna keep it at that because I have no idea what he's allowed to talk about and not. But he'll probably be on the Jeff Mara show, and then it's like 50-50 if he ever does anything ever again. Hey, Julia, good to see you. Oh yeah, I forget where I heard that, but I mean, if you just do a Google search, um, you didn't say they're going to invade in 2025, just that they had to have that capability. Yeah, I hope he doesn't either. I hope he doesn't quit. Let me look that up. Let's see. Oh, I had the year wrong. So I will share that really quickly. Yeah. So it's their modernization goal. I think is 2027. So this is not as direct as what I was looking for. Yeah, I mean their reunification goal has always been, I think, 2049, right? So regardless of when it happens, they intend it to be over by 2049. Anyway, it looks like the new date, whatever it is 2027. Yeah, they're always good. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. Yeah, so Solite, I think it's 2027 is when their modernization plan has to be fully complete. So let's see. Curious what ChatGPT says. It'll be probably a little bit faster. Um, yeah, basically saying it's not explicit, but they have their People's Liberation Army centennial goal. So it's the 100th, that's 2027. It's the 100th anniversary of the founding of the People's Liberation Army. So Xi Jinping has set modernization goals for the PLA to be fully capable of winning a quote unquote regional war, which many analysts believe includes the potential invasion of Taiwan. While this is a modernization goal rather than a firm invasion deadline, it underscores China's desire to have military forces that could credibly project power across the Taiwan Strait by that time. So looks like it's 2027 is the date. Yeah, that's probably where I saw that. Oh, nice. That sounds about on brand. Yeah, well, we better hurry up and like diversify where we're getting all our stuff because we're not ready for it. All right, what else? Who else? What other topics should I cover on this channel? Anything else in kind of the news that's interesting other than the complete ineptness of our federal government in actually helping people? Oh yeah, they've been buying all sorts of bases and stuff, right? Dropping, handing out leaflets, giving people precise instructions on how to flood the U.S. border. That, like little apps that tell Chinese citizens exactly where to go, who also tend to be almost entirely male. Is that what you're talking about, Huckleberry? There's also Panama, right? They're also messing around with the Panama Canal, I think. Well, that's not good. Well, he better care. I mean, if we lose 96% or over 90% of our advanced semiconductor technology, that's a big problem. Like that's existential risk to the United States. So whether or not Trump agrees with that, too bad. Like we're going to war for that. I mean, he won't have a choice. Neither presidential candidate. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. But I haven't been paying as much attention to what they're doing South and Central America. All I know is we're sending billions to Ukraine and Israel and not protecting our own borders. I mean, that's one thing that's just pretty pretty blatant right now. And in my state, illegals are allowed to vote because they're not checking IDs. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. So just make sure you have plenty of like power, food, and something to defend it with by November. That's that's just good common sense. But I'm not going to get into like kind of the like election nuances and stuff like that because I don't want to upset anybody. Oh, good. Well, I don't know about slapping them though. Interesting. Oh man. I mean, if I don't care what your religious preferences are, traditions, or whatever, but whatever they are, please pray for Solite U.S. expats family in Tampa and Orlando. Just pray for them. Whatever you can do. Yeah, I did. I don't know if we talked about. Well, yeah, we talked a little bit about that kind of thing. But there's 2 episodes that are already uploaded, so they're done, ready to go. They just either kind of October, late October, or early November, something like that. So, but yeah, all 12 episodes that I just showed you are already fully cooked, out of the oven, and ready to be served. Brother, that's all I eat. I'm a weirdo when it comes to that. I mean, it's not all I eat, but it without meat, I would starve. Um, I'm what you would call like a super taster. So everything, I'm a really bland eater. So I like the blander, the better. So like vegetables, stuff like that. Like I'm if there was an armed gunman that came into my house, I would have less fear attacking that armed gunman without a weapon than eating like a bowl of broccoli. Literally. So yeah, I'm just weird about food. Well, yeah, yeah, they can. I mean, it's called cloud seeding. I mean, I don't, I don't. When they when they say that there's technology that can control the weather, I don't think it means like drastic changes or like stopping hurricanes or things like that. But I think if there's a cloudy day, they can make it into a clear day by just cloud seeding. I've seen it every year. So I think next week, or maybe even starting this weekend, is Fleet Week where I am, where you'll see like F-18s flying over the house and stuff like that. I've never seen a cloudy Fleet Week. It's always been pristine, beautiful weather. Yeah, I believe that. We absolutely talked about Immaculate constellation. Yep. Yeah, we went down that rabbit hole like early. Yeah, yeah, I like chicken. Chicken is always good. Yeah, but I've always been that way. I've always been mostly. I mean, I'll eat carbs too, right? But I shouldn't. If I just ate meat, I'd be a lot leaner, I think. Oh, Immaculate Conception, not Immaculate Constellation. Huh. Watching slot high. Yeah. Maybe. I haven't done any research on it, so I can't comment either way, and I don't want to get some sort of ridiculous misinformation flag from the totalitarian crew at you know where. I'm not even sure what immaculate constipation would look like, Rayo. I'd be a little nervous about that. It's just like what, like I don't know. It's just so pure that I'm not going to go there. What I was thinking of saying was not. It's going to sound both stupid and bad. Yeah, exactly. No, I don't touch that stuff. That stuff, I don't. I have no idea. It could be real. It could be complete horseshit. I don't know. Yeah, it's possible. I mean, there was an article in The Economist decades ago talking about geoengineering and using that to stop climate change just by seeding silicon dioxide into the stratosphere. And then what that does is that blocks out, or it has the effect of, or a similar effect that a volcano erupting does, right? Which is uh, reducing the amount of sunlight that hits the earth and therefore reducing global warming. Can you hear that in the background? Yeah. So, uh, yeah, I'm not sure what HARP does, though. I mean, we have all sorts of conspiracy theories around it. It could just be like a communication network of some sort, like a high frequency. I don't know. Again, I haven't spent any time on these sorts of theories because it's hard to get good information on any of that stuff. Yeah, I mean that was what Lynn Buchanan was saying, that the 2/3, 3/4 die off, whatever it was caused by energy weapon, or not energy, but weather weapons. Yeah, he does, and God bless him for it. I just can't. I can't touch that. Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. Like it can be done. It's not like it's impossible. It's just chemistry. I mean, it's not like there's no mystery to it. Hmm. No, Brennan. Yeah, yeah. He calls it geoengineering. That's exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, yeah, Brent. Yeah, I've seen that clip. Yeah, I mean it's real. I just don't know. The problem is the mainstream media is so dumb. They're just like weather modification is fake, and it's like, well, it's not binary. It's not black and white. Can we manipulate the weather to some extent? 100%. 100%. Can we like cause hurricanes and earthquakes? Not or not earthquakes. It's not weather, but can we cause hurricanes and whatever? I don't know. Can we make existing hurricanes worse? Probably, but other than that, I don't think we can just conjure them out of thin air. I think we have to use the existing environment to manipulate it. Yeah, exactly. I have been listening though. I had a bird tonight literally fly 2 inches above my head. It scared the crap out of me. It wasn't an owl either. It was I don't know what it was. It was so fast. It just and it wasn't a hummingbird because the hummingbirds were looking at me like, "Bro, you screamed like a girl. What are you doing?" But it was a little unnerving. I never had a bird like dive bomb me like that. I mean, literally like flew right over my head. I know it is unbearable. Yeah, I mean, they could definitely modify things. Yeah, Stefan Schwartz also said that it would be underwater by 2040, I think. Up to Fort Myers, like a third of it or something like up to the like portion up to Fort Myers would be underwater. Interesting. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Mm, actually, hold on for a quick second. I am going to stick a banner up. Nope, don't want that. Just trying to find something. I gotta create like a little banner. This is it's like not letting me. I'm trying to like click on certain things, and it's like there we go. Finally, okay. I'm gonna escape for a moment. So just bear with me. I'll be right back. But I will play some music if I can only find what I'm looking for. All right, I will.
Breaking news.
All right, I'm back. I had mute on. I had all sorts of nonsense. Sorry, I just had to like ask a question, and I didn't want everybody to have to listen to the answer. And I'm just setting everything up here. All right, so um, Let's see. Maybe. I hope they are. That's all he said. I don't. That doesn't mean. Yeah, I'm not a gambler either. Yeah, he said that on my podcast, but nobody picked it up. I think, uh, or maybe he said it offline. I can't remember. But that's like he definitely told me that long before it was on. Yeah, maybe I'm just not marketing this whole thing well enough. Maybe I should add. Well, no, I think he's going. He's going to be in London soon, so he probably won't. If I asked him to do it this Sunday, it's probably too soon. But I don't know. What do y'all think's going to happen in 2026? Are we going to get something or what? Sorry. So I might have a line on Ryan Bledsoe. So tentatively, a mutual is going to make a connection. Whether or not he comes on the show, I don't know. But I would love to interview him for sure. Um, Fred, do you recall if he said it on my show, or if that was just a conversation I had with him? And I mean, if he didn't say it on my show, it was a private conversation. I just can't remember. More on the James Webb object. Yeah, I just have to find somebody to who can talk about it. Yeah, I mean, I could see them being used in either Ukraine or Taiwan, like off the coast of Taiwan on like a U.S. fleet. Because if I were China, that's where I'd use them. But they do that. We might just do a conventional strike on the Three Gorges Dam. Yeah, I mean, I think after the election, it's gonna get crazy here. Because no matter who wins, it's the other side's going to be apoplectic. Um, so we'll see how that goes. Actually, I just want to send this link to somebody so that they can check it out. Wow, I'm losing subscribers like crazy right now. I wonder what's going on. It's not great. I mean, I'm net up for the day, but what the hell? That's really disconcerting, actually. Maybe it's this very live stream. No, it's not. I don't know. Okay. What am I doing? Okay. There you are. There you are, Chester. I was just talking about a potential interview with Ryan Bledsoe, but I didn't say anything about any more than that. Potential, a mutual that is going to connect us. That's where I am in that stage, if you know what I mean. Let's see. Yeah, it probably is time for a new haircut for me. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean like a formal armed conflict. It could just be a bunch of like mobs. I mean, we basically had one in 2020 with the Summer of Love, and then followed by January 6th. So, but they only seem to care about. Yeah, that's a good question. Um, Spotify is growing like it mathematically should. It's like a classic sigmoid, or it's starting to follow a classic sigmoid curve. YouTube doesn't. So, like, if my channel were growing with a classic sigmoid curve, I'd be at way more subscribers by that point. I'd probably be at over 100,000. But there appears to be something that they do to retard growth, and I mean, I don't know. The algorithm does not work like it's not like the audience is deciding, because it doesn't follow a power law. Like, your views follow a power law distribution, but impressions don't. Impressions are manufactured. So basically, everything on YouTube follows a power law distribution except the one thing that YouTube can control, which is the number of times it shows a video to people in the audience. And, my best videos do not get more impressions, right? Than, I mean, they get more impressions, but it's not like 80-20, like it should be. Like, my best videos, it's like 80% of views are in 20% of the videos. Whereas with impressions, it would be like 40% are in 20% of the videos, or something even smaller than that. It's more uniformly distributed, which means it's suspect, right? Just mathematically. But yeah, in terms of Spotify, I would say, just trying to do the math, it's probably like 1/7 what I get on YouTube each month, like 1/7 the views. Uh, but I probably make more money per view on Spotify than I do on YouTube. Um, for whatever that's worth. So, but it is growing more naturally. Yeah, I've been told yoga nidras. I think Tom Montauk told me to look into that, actually. No, I have not seen Wartime Stories. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I usually catch up with Chester once a month on Patreon, but I didn't catch up with him this time around because he was somewhere else. I was about to say where he was, but I don't want to get into that. Huh. Yeah, I know a lot of people who fought in Afghanistan, and none of them has ever seen the giant of Kandahar, or has heard the story, or heard the story while they were in Afghanistan. So I would take that story pretty with a grain of salt. But that doesn't mean it didn't happen, right? So one of Stephen Greer's uh, whistleblowers apparently had an encounter at the same military installation where I was stationed most of my time in the army at the exact same time. And when I was out there, I didn't see anything. Saw nothing. So again, I'm skeptical of that too. But that doesn't mean it didn't happen. Who knows? This could happen in someone's neighborhood and none of their neighbors would see it. So who am I to say? I don't know. Oh, I got to get rid of that banner. That banner doesn't make any damn sense. Put that banner down there. Yeah, that was weird. And I'm looking at like the number of people on here, and it's like tantalizingly close to like 100. And it's like 98, 99, 98, 97, 98, 99. Anyway. Huh. I would think the Afghanis would think there's something to it, like jinn and all that sort of stuff. Right. Because there's a lot of stuff in Arabic or in Islam that where there are jinn uh, that I would think would make them amenable, maybe more amenable than many devout Christians. Um, but I don't know. I do not know. And there it's like 98, 99, 98. Killing me. Maybe if I change the banner to something like that. Maybe it's YouTube just cutting off subscribers. All right, I'm back up again. All right, let me not up, but I'm no longer going backward. I'm going back upward again. I mean, it's a huge grind getting this thing to grow. It's absolutely painful at times. But yeah, just if you just got here and you're enjoying what you're seeing, I mean, we're kind of just in chill mode right now. I'm not really doing anything big. All the high powered stuff was at the beginning, but if you're just relaxing and you haven't subscribed yet, just click it. Doesn't cost you anything, and it helps the channel grow, and it'll help YouTube know that wow, that's weird. Weird stuff. Yeah, I can believe. I mean, I can believe there's some weird stuff like that going on. Wartime stories. We'll have to check it out. We'll definitely have to check it out. What else? What else do people want to talk about? I figure I'll keep it going for another 23 minutes or so, and then we can shut her down after that. Maybe. There we go. There we go. There's the 100. Where was this? Feeding a giant with goats. That's a good question. Why was there no op-ed? He was supposed to be doing some sort of an op-ed. And I don't think he's in the. Is he still associated with the Soul Foundation? Interesting. He's not on there anymore. and neither is Elizondo. What is going on? What's interesting, though, is a guy. This is actually interesting. Let me just. So there's another guy who showed up who is on their advisory board. And he's like a bio guy. He was until recently on the board of 23andMe, which kind of does DNA sequencing and stuff. That's pretty interesting, right? An interesting little addition. Why? Why is that? So something to look into. Huh. The other thing too is that I think the Soul Foundation is meeting again this year, November 22nd, 23rd, I think that weekend. So I obviously applied to be there, but who knows? Who knows is what's going to happen. Um, but I enjoyed it the last time. We'll see. It's at Fort Mason this year. It's not at Stanford this time, which is a real pain in the sense that I'm not a fan of. San Francisco used to be the most beautiful city in the world, and now it is just vile. Entirely because of politics. People were not willing to enforce simple law and order ordinances and take care of the taxpayers and all that stuff that you're supposed to do as someone who is fiduciary of taxpayers. But oh well. Yeah, there's no nuke testing. That's the thing, right? At least there's no public nuke testing. Yeah, it is. I think there was like a leak or something, like people's DNA and from like just bad stuff, bad stuff. And I think like the board resigned en masse or something. Did they though? Hold on. Now I'm going to check ChatGPT. I'm going to leave that up there while I check because I've heard chatter, but it sounds like BS to me. However, if that is true, there's our media has every incentive to hide it. All right, so here's what ChatGPT is telling me. Okay, so take it with a grain of salt. But I said, did Iran test a nuclear weapon? So the answer that it gives me is, and it says search 3 sites. What are the 3 sites? Bing.com, checkyourfact.com. Oh God, outlookindia.com. So I don't know if those are great sources, but I suppose. Anyway, here's what it says. No, Iran has not officially tested a nuclear weapon. Recent speculation about a potential nuclear test arose after an earthquake with a magnitude of 4.6 struck Iran's Semnan province on October 5th of 2024. This seismic event, located near some of Iran's nuclear facilities, led to online rumors suggesting it might have been caused by an underground nuclear detonation. However, international experts and monitoring agencies have found no evidence supporting this claim. The U.S. Geological Survey confirmed the earthquake as a natural seismic event, and no unusual radiation or other indications of a nuclear test were detected. While the geopolitical tensions in the region, especially between Iran and Israel, are high, this earthquake appears to be a natural occurrence, not linked to any nuclear test by Iran. These types of rumors are not uncommon when seismic activity occurs near sensitive sites, but they remain unsubstantiated in this case. Sources confirm that Iran continues to develop its nuclear program, which has been a long-standing point of international concern, but there is no verified nuclear test as of now. So apparently not, at least allegedly. Yeah, I can look into it. Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I do not know. Oh man. Ah, how's everybody's week going? I mean, it's October. October and November are my favorite 2 months. So I like the spooky season, Halloween and such. It's good times. But why was my mic muted? All right, so you're saying North Korea just closed all roads and railway lines into South Korea. Huh, that's weird. Why do you think they shut down roads and railway lines? I think they're prepping for an invasion. What's your theory, Soullight? I mean, God knows we couldn't do anything about it if they did. Yeah, yeah, seriously. They're not getting enough attention, so they want to have a temper tantrum. Yeah, it is very strange. I wouldn't worry. I don't think they can. I don't think they can still range us yet. Although where I am would be their targets because it's close. It's close to them. San Francisco. They always say we will bury San Francisco in a sea of fire. Yeah. I mean, that would make sense. No, I am not familiar with that crash. Oh boy. What did he say? Hmm. So that crash happened in 1981. What did? Well, actually, why don't I just ask Chat GPT? Uh, yeah. I mean, it just said it would basically parts of California would break off into the ocean. Yeah, it's most of it. Yeah, but humans would still be humans. Huh. Yeah, could be. I don't know. All right, 9 more minutes, folks, and then I gotta call it. Gotta answer work emails and whatnot. I think the owls are still outside, actually. Okay, yeah. Feel free to do that, Soleil. I also just got my ballot, so you all should vote. I'm not going to tell you where to vote, but I'm just going to do my performative duty. It won't make any difference where I am, but who knows? Who knows? I'm open to anything as an explanation for what's going on with reality. What else do folks want to talk about? Yeah, there were people who were actually worried about that. Huh. I don't. I don't follow NFL. I. Mm-mm. They hate veterans. That they hate veterans. So I don't. I stopped watching football many years ago. Oh wow. I hope you're okay. Oh, really? Do you know what podcast that was? By the way, if Lou Elizondo wants to appear on this pod, I mean, he doesn't. He could appear anywhere, but I would love to interview him. But that'll never happen. None of these intelligence guys, they they assiduously avoid me. I don't know why. It's kind of annoying. Yikes. Oh, Bialik, Mayim Bialik, or whatever her name is. Yeah, he's on. I mean, he's doing the right thing. He's going on these like mega large podcasts, but he's getting interviewed by randos. It's actually kind of annoying. Yeah, Mayim Bialik. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we'll never be on my. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Seriously? Like that stuff pisses me off, man. It's so random. I wish I knew how to get a hold of them. Huh. Yeah, I reached out to Daniel Sheehan too. No response. I mean, this is the way it kind of goes. Travis Taylor never responds. Who else? Um, Richard Dolan, I think, kind of responded, but then never again. Like only after the first response. I get a hold of Mario Wood, but he can never kind of work out the right times. He always says, "Well, next month" or whatever. Um, let's see. Oh, really? Dave Scott's a good dude. I've been on his show before. He's like to promote a book that I had. I like Dave Scott. No, 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 no. You don't pay people. That's not how it works. A guest comes on and they get to promote whatever they want to promote, right? Books or whatever, but you never pay them. Otherwise, the business model would never work. Oh man, that's some dark stuff, man. I'm sure he gets like tons of people though who are asking. I don't know. I don't know how to. I don't know. I don't know how I would handle that if I could heal like that. I don't know. That's some dark stuff. I'm sorry to hear about your nephew. Thanks. She's got a 250K fee. Yeah, no wonder no one's interviewed her. That's yeah. I mean, I have a choice. I could release them tomorrow, but I would just be being an ass, right? And it just wouldn't be right. Interesting. Yeah, you got to stick to one topic, Gray Al. You know, you just gotta just keep it short, focused. Otherwise, people put you on the crazy meter. I understand. I get it. Just gotta focus on the analysis. So what can I say? For 250K, I want more than that. Well, actually, no. Just yeah, I hope so too, man. All right, 1 minute left, and then I gotta cut it. So it's been real, everybody. Let's see what Brian Bowden. I don't know who that is actually. Yeah, if you have Lakatsky's email, I will. I mean, he's gonna say no, but I mean, I reached out to Pandolfi, so I'm not afraid of anybody. I'll reach out to him. So, all right. Good night, all. Godspeed. Have a fantastic evening. I appreciate you all, and indeed. Oops. Yeah, I don't even know who that is, but all right. Oh, I will chat soon, everyone. Thank you.